I remember when I had my first fight with a little boy. Hi, my name is Dr. Jamila Banks, and I'm your holistic licensed marriage and family therapist who specializes in trauma-informed care, anxiety, depression, and suicide management and reduction. And I remember when I had my first fight with a little boy. As I said in previous sessions, when I was in 3rd grade through 6th grade, I lived off of Slauson and 3rd Avenue. Across the street, there was a family. It was the mom, it was an older sister, a girl that was about my age, and then a boy that was a little older than me. Now from 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade, he seemed to one day like me, then the next day he didn't like me. And how I knew this was, one day when I came over to play with his sister, he would give me snacks, he would say nice things, and then another day we would be walking down the street to school and he would try to trip me and he would push me and he would say things to try to make me cry. This went on from 3rd grade, 4th grade to 5th grade. And I remember one time I came home crying from school because he had found me after school, was talking mess about me, calling me names, calling me out my name, just making fun of me, and other kids were laughing, and I just went home and I was crying, and I'm like, I don't know what's wrong with him. My mom was like, you know what, that is the last straw. Next time he says these things about you, you're gonna have to clap back. You're gonna have to say some things back, and if he gets in your face, and he pushes you or try to trip you, go ahead for what you know, and I'll make sure to talk to his mom later. Mind you, his mom was an alcoholic who was the neighborhood drunk, and when she was not drinking, she was cognizant and aware, and we could have conversations with her. When she was drinking, the music was blasting loudly across the street. She would be out front cussing and screaming at herself, at kids, at people that was walking by. She just was out of her ever-loving mind. One day in particular, her and my mom had actually got into a physical altercation when she was drinking one night. So my mom was like, you know what? You're going to have to stand up for yourself and talk that talk. And if he comes in your face, you're going to go ahead and have to, do what you got to do. So the next day I went back to school, and after school, when the bell rang and I was going outside, to look for his sister to walk home with, here he comes, talking about me, calling me names, and he actually decides to go push me into the grass. So when I got up, I went and charged at him and just started swinging with all my little might. Of course, he was a boy, and he also fought back, and I was hurt, he was hurt. A teacher I think came and broke it up, and then we went home. When they called my mom actually to come get me, she told them that he was been bullying me and he was making fun of me. So if I had to get suspended, it was what it was. But she wanted to go on record that this boy had been bothering me for years, and that finally I had stood up for myself. So I learned, whether it's a boy or whether it's a girl, you can only walk away so many times. You can tell the teacher, it's all kind of things that I did. My mom tried to talk to his mom, and it didn't help. And so the one time, I had to stand up for myself, and I had to talk that talk, and then my fist had to follow. I do not encourage that, but that was the one time I remember, 1 out of 3, where a little boy put their hands on me and I had to defend myself.